everybody gets to communicate and participate in their development.
All right, so there's need for further education or empowerment of the citizens on how to use the different digital avenues as well as infrastructure as well, because do you have adequate infrastructure to support maybe the empowerment of the citizens to be able to move into digital transformation, and as well as what the government did in terms of IFMIS and opening up systems where people can even bid on that?
Yeah, what we've done, of course, a lot of them go to the cyber cafes to do what they are supposed to do. But then we ensure that in our office, they have a place where whoever needs support, like to open an account, to be able to transact, can be supported by our staff to do so. That is what we have done, especially to enable them, work through the procurement systems. With regard to procurement, we've actually rolled out what we call open contracting. Initially, they were opposed to it because they didn't understand. But open contracting has enabled them to be able to interact with our systems and through a portal and be able to check, when I applied for a job, how many were we, who got it, who was rejected. If it's me who was rejected, why was I rejected? And how did the people score us? How did the staff score us? So that has actually been used so much by contractors, but I would say contractors are different from the citizens when it comes to participating. You see, a citizen will be like, what's the big deal? I know the development will happen. But for a contractor who is bidding for a job, they're interested to know, how many were we? How did we quote? Who won? Who didn't win? Why did I lose? If I'm the one who got, how did I beat the rest? And so those ones are able to interact with the system and be able to give their feedback and stuff like that. So I would say we have two levels of participation, and that's how they are embracing the technology at that level.
Oh, wonderful. Great. So for the second session of this discussion, we'll have questions based on the African Leaders of Tomorrow program. So the African Leaders of Tomorrow program is a scholarship program that was done by the African Association for Public Administration, APAM, with our partners from Canada. We had the Canadian Bureau of International Education, and we have the Institute of Public Administration of Canada. They were the main funders of the program, and through them we were able to offer scholarship programs to African students who are able to undertake Master of Public Administration and Master of Public Policy in Canadian universities. So far, this is 2021, 2020, they have been able to graduate from the different institutions and they have returned back to the continent. So I would just want to get your input on a few things. And for me, I would want to know, what leadership qualities would you attribute to be the ideal for the African continent?
Let me talk about two also. I think for us, when you look at Africa and you look at other places, and today Singapore was mentioned, you see transformative leadership in Singapore. You don't see that in Africa. And you wonder what really goes wrong. I personally think there's something we lack. Maybe not in everybody, but in a few people that get to leadership. And this is really being focused and driving our people towards a direction. We need leaders that are go-getters. They say this is the way to go. They start the way and they move that direction. I don't know, sometimes I'm torn between two. Do we ask people to continue being democratic and have people do what they feel like doing? Or do we get a few leaders that can dictate a certain way, and when people learn the other side and they find it's good and interesting, they will say it was good dictatorship. So I'm wondering what kind of, how do I define this? But we need a focused people that are able to tell people this is the way we are going and we will surely get there. Of course, I still support democracy and say one can look at how to persuade people in a democratic way to move towards a certain goal. Focused leadership. We need leaders with integrity. We lack this quite a lot in the African continent. Sometimes I also wonder, why do people want to be leaders? Why do I want to be president? Why do I want to be governor? Why do I want to be minister? Do I want to change something or do I want to benefit from the system? So we need a people that can stand for integrity and a people that can move, the countries they lead or the positions or the places they lead forward. And that quite a lot, I think, is wanting in the African continent. And even in our country, you see somebody coming to power and the next thing, as we say in the country, they are eating, and the next thing, they are not giving back as we thought they would. So for me, those are things that we need to think about, and we need a people ready for challenge.
Okay.
Leadership is challenging, and you meet things that you need to overcome. Sometimes they are too big for you, but are you ready for the challenge? So I think that's really something that we need in Africa to be able to change Africa.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you very much for your time. I think that will be it for now. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.